Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Fata Morgana. Now today we are going to be looking into the beginning of the 8th door, which I am really quite excited for because this is probably going to really change our view on Morgana's story, and it's also got, if you ask me, the potential to make it a lot better. Because I think this story is really going to elaborate on Morgana's character, which is not a bad thing whatsoever. Here you go. That was an interesting conversation with Morgana. This is the first door opening where we haven't seen, well, where the music has continued and there hasn't been a cutscene. There's no ending of the music to really emphasize the opening of the door. Let's just get a bit of context, why not? Won't do any harm. Oh my god, yeah, this was so weird. Yeah. That's interesting. It really shows how much Michel has changed, because I suppose with this darkness here, he has the power to actually change things and make Morgana realise maybe something that she's never realised before. So this is going to be interesting. So I'm assuming this is... Yeah. Well, I don't blame her, considering that she's in conditions that are as awful as this. If I'm going to be honest, I'm quite surprised that we are going this far in to the story. God, is she not saying anything? She's giving him the Michel treatment. Yeah, she really won't. That's Mel. Interesting. Yeah, Jesus Christ. You treat this person here as just an ingredient in your fucking supply chain. You don't even remember that this person is, or I don't know, maybe a human being? She's not just your well, she is your supply of blood, of course, but she's also a human being with a human life as well. That's a important detail, I think. That's interesting. So you get an indication that Mel possibly cares, and maybe there is a possibility that Mel is able to see through Morgana, and it's not just malice. Maybe he's grateful for what he tried to do for his sister. And that would actually be evidenced by the fact that Mel gives up the secret the second the sister dies. Possibly. So that's interesting. I suppose he was trying to be kind there and was genuinely concerned about Morgana, but the only thing is, who the fuck are you? Oh, that's the sister. Bet you anything. But, yeah. Yeah, but the only thing is, I suppose, he's being dragged by everybody else, but he was genuinely concerned. Odd. This is a new sprite, though. wonder where she's saying that he has to go to. Is it the church? Yeah, it's gotta be Mel. Or at least the person who reincarnated into Mel. This is interesting because I think this is actually giving us the impression that Mel is worried about Morgana, but obviously Morgana's living too much of an awful time that she wouldn't be able to see it. I mean, I don't blame her. Look at how she denies the food. She's just living there, just totally without a care in the world for anything. But it doesn't surprise me, considering that she's literally gone through starvation and the most awful and traumatic living conditions. God, look at the stereotypes. They're unbelievable. And her name's still Nelly. That's interesting. But unlike the Nelly we know, this person's reasonable and this person's not totally spoiled. God, very, very familiar backgrounds. Interesting. Yeah, first two lines. Oh, God. Yeah, just the lines of somebody who sounds like he is doing something very, very bad. Who the fuck are you? Oh my god, wait, hang on a second. So this is the nun of the church, I'd assume. God. I did not expect to see her. She looks just that little bit terrifying. What is she holding? I've got no idea what that is, but yeah, some sort of weird object. Maybe it has religious connotations? Are they not meant to be seen? Well, no shit, they've... Dude, she is a nun! Aren't nuns not allowed to... Wait, let me just fully check. Yeah, so nuns are not allowed to engage in any means of romantic behaviour whatsoever, so this is not very good. Yeah, no wonder they don't want to be seen. What is this thing, though? What are you referring to? There is a lot that we don't know. So is this a good thing or a bad thing? Is it mutual? Oh my god. Her eyes look so... I'm sorry, I just don't know why. There is just something that looks scary about this sprite. God, if this person was found being with somebody else in a romantic relationship, especially when religion is very, very popular, she'd probably lose her life, never mind her job. fair enough. No, he's completely foreign to the land. She seems quite nice, and my god, I feel bad for her. But the thing is, isn't it interesting? She was clearly born into this position, like Morgana was. She didn't choose to be in this position. So it's interesting that even though this person is the object of Morgana's hatred, and obviously she is being completely ruined so that this nun can have a happy life in her church. But at the same time, ironically, the nun has a similar complex to Morgana in the sense that she wants to be normal. She doesn't. Well, no. Morgana doesn't really want to be. No. So I suppose they were both born into positions that have some sort of relevance to God and being a saint and being superior to any other human being. Because yes, yeah. But the only thing is, obviously, Morgana believes that she is the saint rather than the nun who believes that she just wants to have a normal life. She doesn't want this life of being above everybody else. Well, Morgana doesn't really want to be above everyone else. She just wants to be kind. And she wants to be worshipped so that she can deliver the kindness. She's basically the definition of a religious prophet who's really, really failed because society, unfortunately, is not that kind. She seems very happy, yeah. It does, to be fair, yeah. That's very idealistic thinking. Unfortunately, we know it's not going to happen because of Morgana, but yeah. God, she really, really is idealistic here. But you can tell the strength of their possible relationship from that, if you ask me. Is this Mel? Oh god, what's going to happen on the day of the Harvest Festival? Oh god, this is interesting in terms of how it's going to be told. So the last 3 days, well, yeah. The last few days of Morgana's life are going to tell us about her character, so much so that it's going to be able to rewrite her character, and she's even going to be able to be called the white-haired girl. This just sounds ridiculous. Is my instinctive reaction. So, you know, we'll wait and see what happens. Somebody's lazy. What? That's interesting. Oh my god, why is Michel there? That looks so goofy. No, that's really weird. So is it as if Michel's going to be experiencing this story himself? And also, this is probably Gazelle. That's interesting. So I suppose this story is not going to be narrated ourselves, but no, sorry, it's not going to be narrated ourselves, but it's going to be narrated by ourselves trying to find out what is happening in the story. We don't know it. It's going to be interesting. So we're going to be investigating in this time period. He still thinks that. I'm surprised. I'm sorry, I just think this text looks so weird. It's gonna be a long time until I get used to this, I think. Yeah. This is just how rural everything is. And I'll bet you in hundreds of years, areas like these will be totally urbanised. Or maybe not areas like these, but areas near these. And to be fair, I really do wonder if that city would, the city where everybody was killed in Morgana's era, if its identity would just totally be lost after its decline when everybody died, or maybe it would be preserved and it would be regenerated and rebuilt later on, and maybe its history would be learnt about, and possibly there's going to be, I don't know, heritage and that being an excuse for tourism or something like that. I just wonder if they'll do anything with the history of this place. That is, if the history of this place is known in several hundred years. You're telling me Gazelle was there? Gazelle looks really faded. Why is she speaking in blue? It's like we've gone to fucking Umineko. Yeah, so he's just woken up in the middle of a forest, and now he has his lover just he's just probably hallucinating. True. I know I wasn't as well, but it does kind of make sense considering that after Gazelle's soul has scattered away and it has been freed from the restraints of the mansion, it makes sense that she would be able to kind of join Michel on any journey that he goes on. I like the fact that it's Gazelle rather than the maid. It really shows that she's broken. Well, no, the final door, the beginning. Okay, it shows that she's broken out of her shell. And, well, no, there is no need for a cocoon anymore. And she's remembered the person inside the cocoon so much so that the cocoon's not only destroyed, but she's reawakened, in a way. Which is quite cool. Oh, I don't think Gazelle would be the type to betray you, let's be honest here. If Gazelle was, this entire story wouldn't have happened, let's be honest here. Yeah, it's really unusual. Maybe Michel's a ghost. Yeah, fair enough, rather than being the person who is weaving the tale. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. It must be, yeah. Fair. I'm gonna make a really awful joke. Read this line and then think about what this would be like in a Nukige context. That's what I was thinking about. Yeah, I know I should just kill myself. This is proof of why. Okay, me being an absolute degen over. Fata Morgana isn't even an eroge, so me talking about Nukige, I don't really think that's the most suitable. Let's say that. It is really unusual, though. They are going to experience this themselves. True. I agree. Even if Gazelle didn't show up, and if we rejected Morgana, we probably still would have fallen into her temptations if it wasn't for Gazelle. They're both mutually... Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally. And Gazelle deserves it. She really, really does. There are so many things I want to say, but at the same time, they do have a job to do, and it's a very, very important job. I wonder if Gazelle can see into Michel's thoughts. Damn it, she can't. I mean, they share the same vision, so I wondered if that could have been possible. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, Gazelle just says something and Michel just dies in awkwardness. Fair point. God, she looks so pissed off. Dude, he said M! And then he just totally changes the subject. Yeah, maybe actually getting back to what's going on. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. She might actually be really helpful, yeah. Surely if we were an observer, though, there would be somebody who needed to know all of that information to be able to then display it to us. Obviously, this is uncovering what Morgana doesn't know. It is as if we have just jumped back into that time period. So, yeah, obviously. That's the case. Yeah, totally. It's really going to be... I mean, I'm sorry, but this is the definition of immersion. Yeah, he has a determination. That's all he needs. Especially Yukimasa, I'm really interested to see what his circumstances are. Morgana is never going to be in the state of mind to be able to just understand what drives these people to do all of these actions. Of course she wouldn't be. I mean, she's so traumatized and badly affected. And if I'm going to be honest, I am really surprised that Michel is proclaiming that Morgana is the white-haired girl. I just really wonder where he got the basis of that from. True. God, no. No, no way, no. Are they just mere observers, or are they ghosts, or do they actually have influence in the world? Can they change things? True. Okay, so that's why he believes that. That's interesting. But the only thing is I don't really understand it, because Morgana doesn't know whatsoever. Sorry, Michel doesn't know that the white-haired girl is Morgana, and yet it just kind of sounds like, from my impression, he's assumed it. Weird. Me too, yeah. I'm happy I'm not the only one. Yeah. What would happen to these people if they changed the past, though? But if you change everything that goes on with Morgana, then can you two meet? That's my question. Are they making a... Well, I don't know. Are they making a big mistake? Is it more important for these two or Morgana? Who should they prioritize? Themselves or her? Is this world really what? Is this world really real? And I suppose, is it really an exact representation of what is going on in Morgana's past as well? What if there's a possibility for it not to be the same world for some reason? I mean, I'm not ruling it out. It could be possible. Yeah. God, so they might actually be able to see Morgana in her condition. That would be interesting, just to see what they think of it, and probably just how sick of a sight it is and how sorry of a sight it is as well. I think it's funny that they think they're going to be able to get into the mansion, even though they probably, like... Well, I mean, it just depends on what their status is, really, and how much they'd likely be listened to. I would assume this is the woods that are right next to the mansion. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's hilarious. This is totally reasonable, though. He is an arsehole. I mean, let's be honest, he probably planned on using Gazelle from the start. But the only thing is, we never actually know that, and we just don't have enough information on Amidi. But he definitely was involved in the plot that was done against Gazelle to frame her as a thief. So he's definitely not very nice in the end. But I do wonder what he was actually thinking in the beginning. Yeah. 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 Can I just mention, I do find it very interesting when Morgana was narrating her story, the indication that she knows what the true nature of her curses are i.e. placebo effects and diseases rather than curses happening. And it's just interesting that even though she has that level of understanding, she still insists in cursing people. But I suppose that's because there's a difference between cursing that's done by humans and then cursing that's actual cursing. Which it is in this case. Fair. Interesting. I suppose he's just feeling that with instinct. Fair. Oh my god, it's Mel. Damn, that was not what I was expecting whatsoever. God. A. A white-haired man, that's interesting. So Michel actually looks like how he did before. Oh my god, when Michel is talking to Gazelle, it sounds like he's talking to himself. That's hilarious. Oh my god! And he knows his name! Oh my god, this is hilarious. Somebody is thinking that his timeline equates to everybody around him's timeline. Not the case whatsoever. You fucked up already. Yeah, that's like in 1,000 years. True. Yeah, fair enough. Oh my god, what? Why? What the fuck is this choice? Yeah. Yeah, totally. You are such an idiot. Jesus Christ, you can tell that somebody has made a bad impression. If Michel is literally saying, I need to make a better impression of myself to you before leaving, I mean, yeah, that's how you know somebody has failed, let's be honest here. Fair. God, but that's... True, it is a disaster. Oh god, if he told Mel his story, that would be bad. But Michel is awful at improvisation, as we can see by this hideously embarrassing conversation, so yeah. Oh god, that's a reasonable conclusion. But you need to gain his trust. You are so bad at this. Oh my god. Yeah, just realised the truth later. Oh my god, so that's interesting that Mel's actually thinking of getting to know us just to see what the fuck we want. True. Yeah, you're not a pagan missionary. That's interesting. So the saintess is the nun that we have ironically seen with Mel. Yeah, so in your working life, you're somebody who is really revered and worshipped. Outside of work, you are having romantic relationships. Oh my god. Yeah, how deadly. Yeah. No, 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 no. Oh, God. What does proselytizing mean? Preaching? Yeah, it's literally that. Just attempting to convert somebody from one religion to another. Did I say proselyte? Yeah. Yeah. Seriously, he's not changing his mind whatsoever. That's a hilarious thing. Michel really needs to be careful not to spoil anything into the future. It's not like a visual novel where you can just say spoilers and then spoiler tag everything on Discord or Reddit or whatever you use. No, you can't do that in the real world. Grave realization, I know, but like, yeah. If anything, that's when their faith for the church will be the strongest. In 3 days, yep. 3 days until the end of Morgana's life. Oh yeah, I think he should. Yeah. Yeah, the most pivotal days of your life. Now you are probably realising how little time you have and how much you will need to rush. Oh, I totally agree. Yeah, it's funny that there's something that you are not saying deliberately, even though you are a part of it. Why is there that level of secrecy? It's interesting that it really feels as if you can see the Lord's business practices at play here. Yeah, just, he's probably said, if you do anything to tarnish the reputation of this church, I will fucking kill you. Probably something like that, I don't know. But yeah, he's probably very, very concerned about it. But why? The Lord's a really unusual character in the sense that he's an arsehole, he's horrible. And yet at the same time he's trying to help somebody. He's doing all of this to help the nun. Why? The Lord is someone... We need to know more about all of these characters, to be honest. It's not just the Lord. Yeah, true. Oh, God. True. Oh yeah, yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how their sprites look. Yeah. Well, on the surface. Yeah. True. God, I love this theme so much. Dude, whenever I think of Fata Morgana, I think of themes like this. Definitely one of my favourite soundtracks in the visual novel. I'm sorry, but this is so classic, this soundtrack. Yeah, totally, yeah. So the blue kind of represents what's going on internally. True. Oh, it went very, very bad. I'm genuinely impressed that Mel was actually able to show Michel here. yeah, imagine having a normal time in a mansion like this. Let's be honest, it's genuinely impossible. Yeah, it's surprising. True, but at the same time, he's helping play a part in Gazelle's death. Why? I mean, my guess is because of the fact that his sister is in harm and he's doing this so that, I don't know, maybe so that he can get a blood supply that can be fed to his sister so that they can always believe that she will be possibly better, even if that belief is a little bit false. Yeah. Not enthusiastically, but he may still have done it, and that may still be something that you can't deny. Maybe it's something he regretted, who knows? True. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You can't get them to tell them about something very, very personal. It just really feels like such an impossible challenge. Yeah. Yeah, totally. Oh, oh God. True. To be fair, that is something that is a reasonable concern, so I think it's good that she has eventually, but still. God, it's awkward. Well, luckily enough, Michel can't see you, so yeah, good for you. This is the best time to blush, seriously. It's going to be exciting to see what happens. Yeah, very reasonable. To be honest, that's the horrible thing about situations like these. You think you want to do the best, but that's only the best short term. What happens long term? And what happens to you and your body as well? You are stuck in this time period. How do you know if you die because you've said something that might, for example, betray the church? How do you know whether you're going to be alive to tell any other tale? I mean, yeah, sure, they wouldn't, but at the same time, I don't think that's a good plan. I think but also that's a horrible plan in the sense that you're not going to learn anything about the people you need to learn things about as well, which is a bit cruel, but true. That too, yeah. You don't even have to say that you come from the future, just leave that detail out. True, this is a very, very old time period. Yeah. Well, you're going to need to get those 3 keys. True. And you've got 3 days to do it. Fair enough, yeah. Yeah, stay on people's good side, get respect, and then you ask the questions. Oh, I know. It is a proper test socially. I see that. Oh well. We all experience this. You can still undo it, maybe. If it's not really stupid, possibly you can. Oh, I know. Must be very, very difficult. Must be very weird, just considering that you are being shown by Mel to a building that has associations with goodwill and obviously bringing people together that have a common faith. But obviously there is just such an underside to that that will never ever be allowed to be seen here. Yeah, that's the worst thing, yeah. All alone, no one there at all. I mean, she's so dejected that she sees food that has been made for her and yet she just can't eat it. Even though not eating the food is going to result in her increasing starvation and obviously deterioration of health. And she's going to die a painful death. It's not as if she's been given possibilities to suicide, no. Well, like easily suicide, no. She's dying of starvation. True. Must be very difficult. Yeah. Yeah, God no. And would it even work for Mel? That's another question. Yeah, quite literally. Yeah, no shit. We've always associated it with a mansion. Yeah, I'm sure Michel didn't already know that. Yeah, 100%. Isn't it funny, Michel has lived in this place for so long and yet he doesn't know a single bit about its context. I mean, it does make sense, but I really do wonder if we're going to learn the origin story of just why this quote-unquote church was constructed. Isn't it ironic when there's the conversation about it not really looking much like a church? Yeah. I wonder what's up certain rooms. Like, for example, the... Oh, I don't know. Observation tower, maybe? My god. That's interesting. I wonder what this belongs to. Oh my god, what the fuck? This looks so weird. I can't believe this is the same mansion. That's weird. Yeah, familiar doors, and yet it's something totally different. I'm really surprised. Yeah. It's unbelievable. It looks really, really nice. Yeah, fair enough. You can never know, that's the fun part. I mean, to be fair, the mansion was totally sealed off so that Morgana wouldn't be anywhere. Well, I don't know, her spirits wouldn't be anywhere else to curse people with. God. It is. Yeah, yeah, undeniably, yeah. That's interesting. Are you really? Oh. Isn't it weird to think? This person seems like a really good-natured person, and I mean, obviously, because of the fact that she has Pauline's soul, of course, even more so. But, yeah, just the question, it all hinges on the question of, does she know what's happening in the observation tower or not? What, like the observation tower? You're getting that treatment. That is a very good question. And if I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised either. Oh, yeah. Yeah. True. Yeah. Exactly. She should be close with Yukimasa. Oh god. Yeah, fair enough. You can tell she's like Pauline. Yeah, not acting very professional in the face of somebody who appears to have not had any knowledge of what goes on at the church from, well, until today. I mean, surely she'd think about being more serious and more like a nun? Not awkward whatsoever. True, but like, I don't know if you can say that. Fair. I've only just met. To be fair, that is true. She doesn't look very thrilled though. Ah, that's the catch. These are going to be some very difficult 3 days. Yeah, I wonder what you're going to do. He's so gonna fuck this up. You are so obviously acting. That's interesting. I wonder why. So that's why. She doesn't know. Interesting. Yeah, like the church is going to have a future. Well, maybe it will in this ending if we properly alter events. Lucky. Where does it come from? Yeah. You heard her right. Yes, it is real blood. Oh my god, these fucking snakes. Dude. Oh, you proper bastards. They didn't even tell her it's real blood. Yeah, it does sound divine, is it? No. So this is Michel's move. It is real blood. He knew Mel's name. And oh dear, Michel's just put his life in danger. Ooh. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure, man. That's definitely the case. Oh, this is going to be exciting. True. Yeah, it was just instinct. Might have been a very bad mistake, though. You should have. I agree. Right. Just gonna take a break for a second. I think it's just really interesting, the kind of indication that obviously the nun is doing all she can for the mansion, and she genuinely cares about everything that she is running. Yeah, she doesn't know the blood's real though, but yeah, it's just interesting how little she's been told. But that is good. I mean, she's doing all she can. And I do wonder what the circumstances are. Isn't it ironic that she doesn't even know herself? This is never what you would have thought somebody like a nun would be. But I mean, obviously you expect it because this nun has Pauline's character, but still. What a gut punch. That's so funny what Gazelle says. I think it's so funny how Michel just does a laughably bad job. Yep, and he makes it perfectly awful. There. He perfectly makes it more of a bad job there. Yeah. That's interesting. So what's been happening, I'd assume, is that the Lord has just been lying, saying that nobody can stay here. People can, but it's just he wants to cash in on the medicine as much as he can. Well, no, actually, hang on a second. He's not cashing in whatsoever. Michel's not even paying for the medicine at the moment, or maybe he would have had to have paid if he didn't know the secret behind the medicine. Isn't it interesting that Michel really couldn't help himself? No matter how wrong something like this would be, I say it's wrong because this is really going to make his life more difficult now. Because he can't assume the perspective of somebody who knows nothing. This might have actually been a really bad mistake. Oh yeah, sure, there. Yeah, sure. I just think it's so unusual how different the church looks when it's all alive. And it's really interesting just how it's completely degraded. And if I'm going to be honest, I think I really underestimated the size of that room. I think the room's a lot more, well, just, it's a lot more space than I initially thought. Right, here we go. So this is Nell's room. Interesting. Yeah, where the fuck did you get that information from? Yeah. I really do wonder if he should just come clean. Say, I know Morgana and I want her back. I wonder how much he's going to confess. It's going to be interesting to see. Holy shit, we can choose. Wow. Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it. Yeah, I suppose so. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you probably are, but it is still worth a shot, I agree. Yeah, God, Gazelle's probably just thinking, be careful. Yep, first line and it's already insane. Morgana. Who's Morgana? Oh, I really wonder. Yeah, my god. Yeah, he does. Oh my god, yeah, what will happen here? Yeah. Yeah. I wonder how Mel is going to take this. Fair enough. That's the ironic thing. Yeah. Mel's just probably thinking, I already saw this guy talk to himself. He's probably completely insane. It must be so funny just hearing his entire secret completely busted. Yeah. Yeah, of course he knows about that. Yeah. Yeah, fair. God, he really, really is finding it hard to take it in, and he's probably having to just have a lot of contemplation in his head. But God, now he knows that we have a connection to Morgana and we know everything. So yeah, and it's just interesting. I mean, he is more of the vulnerable type because obviously he doesn't want to do any of this. This is a path that he has not willingly taken. And I suppose he's more vulnerable to Michel and being changed by him just because he doesn't want to do this. Like, for example, you would never be able to get this reaction out of the Lord. He'd just say, "Execute this man," instantly, or something like that. Let's hope Mel doesn't totally backstab Michel. We don't fully know Mel. Maybe he would. I mean, he did sound genuine and he did sound shocked, but what if he changes his mind and thinks that he needs to tell everybody? Definitely, yeah, he seemed really quite shaken. It's a very extreme thing to say, of course. And yet he still did it. Yeah. It's basically everything he could have wanted. Oh my god, this really pisses me off. Why are these ellipses not in blue? I wish they were in blue. True. That is true. Yeah. No, you've got to be ready for anything. Tell Gazelle. I mean, he's clearly outlined his objectives and what he wants to do, but the only thing is this could have been a bad decision, because what if Mel has actually betrayed him? We know that he doesn't want to do this, but what if he's done it just for, I don't know, just for the sake of this continuing? And I say that because if this doesn't continue, then he won't be able to feed his sister with the blood. Knew it. Oh my god, he's got the gang. Oh. Yeah, totally reasonable that it went over a bit too easily. Oh my god, so he's actually told them. That's interesting. I'm very surprised. I wonder what he was thinking when telling them. So basically, What should we say apart from, oh shit? Yeah. These two little shitheads are here. God, they really, really do look terrifying. I mean, Yukimasa especially. Yeah. Oh, I would never ever mess with somebody like him. And Jacopo just looks... Well, the Lord here, he looks like, I mean, obviously a complete shithead. I mean, I'm sorry, you just get the impression of bad people just by looking at these people. I mean, particularly Jacopo. Yeah, this is the man. Oh my god, so what's going to happen? Oh my god, I really do wonder if he's going to surprise them with the fact that he knows their name. Yeah, somebody... I thought somebody was just contemplating stuff. Yeah, but you snitched. That's the thing. He didn't get his information anywhere in the present. Yeah. You can really see just how rotten this person is. Just... No introduction, no nothing, just such an unpleasant way of addressing them. I don't know. Or maybe I'm... Isn't it ironic that this is genuine? Oh god, so he might have made this even worse. That's reasonable. Yeah, because this is the exact conclusion Jacopo would have made if it wasn't. Yeah, that does make sense. True. Yeah. God, he really is letting emotions overtake him. Because let's be honest, if the Lord and the Swordsman, if they know what Michel's intent was, I think that's going to make this a lot more difficult. Yeah. I hope Michel confirms that. So that's all the swordsman needs to say in order to get off of the Lord's trust. Sorry, to break the Lord's suspicion. Isn't that interesting how he treats Mel compared to how he treats the swordsman? Yeah. Does make sense because Mel's young, but still. Really? I mean, that is fair. That is a fair assumption. I know, I totally agree. Yeah, it's surprising. that being said right in front of the Lord. True. I suppose Mel was thinking more long term, because if Michel's knowledge of this was found out, they would have instantly blamed him because he's the youngest and he is the person who probably spill a secret the most, because of the fact that something like this would be the biggest mental burden on him compared to the swordsman and the Lord. Well, I mean, the Lord and the swordsman, they're psychopaths, it seems like, so yeah. You're not exactly going to be able to escape somebody like him. Right, yeah. There's a confirmation. Yeah, but he just sounds mad. That's interesting. So I suppose the Lord is somebody who is really, really only living in the short term. But to be fair, that is a reasonable question. It's kind of selfish in a way, because even though you will live a next life, it will be a totally different person, but I suppose you only care about yourself in the now, not long term. Yeah, that's the worst reaction you could have had, to be honest. Yeah, and that's interesting. It's interesting that Mel pretended to believe Michel, but in reality he definitely thought that he was out of his mind. God, and I still believe that this is all Mel's doing. This is a very difficult situation, because everything has the potential to totally go in the darkness and fail if this doesn't go correctly. Of course they don't, and they haven't experienced them. How can you? But he's going to get cut up in half. True. That's the thing. Nobody. And that's the most tricky thing. You just said Morgana from the future, but still Morgana herself. He still doesn't believe him. Of course he wouldn't. It's only reasonable. You fucking run. What? Yeah, but they can never see it. Because they just think he's mad. Yeah. Tell me these two people aren't truly evil, will you? Michel really needs to... Michel needs to be at his best performance here. Jesus Christ, I mean, this person's such a psychopath. He thinks, oh yes, let me play with and torture somebody before they die. Yeah, good idea. Jesus Christ. Oh, I wonder if he's going to give an indication of what will happen with the blood. God, look at his face. God, Gazelle must be terrified. God, look at his face as well. No, you've got to be kidding me. He's actually been killed. He's not going to say anything. Because no matter what happens, people will not listen to him. God, Gazelle was properly disturbed. I don't blame her. God. Jesus fucking Christ. These people are so... This person's hideous. No way, is Mel going to die as well, possibly? True. Is this an ending? Yeah, it's a dead end, yeah. It's another one of the dead ends, okay. So we should have picked the other choice, yeah. What should we do? Should we... So I think what I'll do is I'll... Yeah, we'll tread carefully. Actually, do you know what? I think we'll do that tomorrow. Anyway, that was really fun, and I like that bad ending as well. That was really cool. So I suppose that's just one indication on how Michel can basically lose everything in this journey, because I suppose if he loses everything like he has here, not only is Morgana never free and she doesn't see her past in a different light, which, I mean, judging by how easily he was killed, it seems quite hard to believe that that is even possible in the first place. But yeah. Yeah, it's just and so I suppose what happens then is what was I saying? Let's just say it again. So they're never able to set Morgana free, and as a result of that, they themselves kind of, I suppose they kind of die and everything fades away when they are trapped into the mansion. And I suppose Michel and Gazelle do still live on, but obviously Michel's dead, and obviously he and Gazelle are stuck in this time forever, whereas they could have had freedom if it wasn't for their mistake. Yeah, it's interesting. So there are a lot of choices that depend on this. Yeah, it'll be quite exciting to see how this ends, because at the moment it just feels like such a ridiculous concept that is trying to be proven. I mean, how the fuck... you were really telling me somebody like the Swordsman and the Lord have more to them? I mean, Mel, of course he does, but those people? Really? God, you just thought, whenever I was reading this and anything to do with them, I just thought they were the embodiment of evil. They just all look so horrible. Yeah, and it is interesting why Mel told them, and I do wonder how the other choice is going to contrast to it. Anyway, see you guys soon.